Okay,
We'll see.
6:30 PM. Bring the board meeting. First item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item up on the agenda is the adoption of minutes. Can I get a motion to adopt the December 4th, 2025 minutes?
I'll move it. Second it.
Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All yes, motion carried. Next item on the agenda is public hearing for the Timber Bank stop sign. Can I get a motion at 6:31 PM to open the public meeting for the Timber Bank stop signs?
I'll move that. I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Public hearing is open. As you can see, I forgot my gavel, so we'll just go with my word on that one. We had a public hearing. We properly posted the public notice for the public hearing. Over here, the Timber Banks HOA and the neighbors have requested 2 sets of stop signs. Over here at the western terminus of Sedgegrass and Forest Ridge and Tall Tree Lane, and over here at Forest Ridge and Tall Tree Lane, 2 stop signs, both on each intersection with Tall Tree Lane. That being said, is there anybody that wishes to speak in favor or against the stop signs at Timber Banks?
We at Timber Banks are all for
Could you, Abby, could you just come up to the microphone? You might have to turn it on.
Okay.
It's on the top. Be careful, I've knocked it down before. It's right up at the, near the white strip. Push it toward the inside. There you go. You got it. I think she got it. Yep.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, we're very happy that you're considering this. I did speak last, a couple weeks ago. We have a lot of children, a lot of young families, and the problem always has been that because of the amount of homes that are going in behind that area, the only access road for all the construction vehicles are right down Tall Tree. And they tend to go as fast as they want it and everything. So these stop signs will get them to slow down. Hopefully they stop, but at least, you know, with the stop sign there, it does help a lot. So we're very, very happy that you're considering this, and they're very, you know, looking forward to it. They really are. So you won't have to be out there every day running down contractors and stuff trying to slow them up. So
Hopefully.
but the construction is going to go on for many years, so that's really why it's so important too. Not just a temporary kind of thing. It's going to go on probably for the next 10 years. You know. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else wishing to speak in favor or against? Seeing none, does the board have any comments they'd like to enter into the public hearing? I'd just like to reiterate that Timber Banks is an HOA. We've asked the process for the HOAs if they want stop signs or crosswalks to, you know, the residents to contact the HOA, the HOA brings it to the board for the concern, and then we look into it from there. And this is something that was asked back in September that got to the wayside. Thank you for reminding us. Seeing no other comments, can I get a motion to close the public hearing at 6:34 PM?
I'll move it. I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Public hearing is closed. Next on the agenda is citizens' comments. There are no additional agenda items, so if there's any citizens wishing to speak, if they please come up to the microphone.
Hi, my name is Joe Saracini. I reside at 59 Oswego Street in the village of Baldwinsville, and I'm here tonight to thank Councilor Gerasi for his service to the town and to this board. As you may know, it can be a thankless job, and it's not for everybody. And I think to do it well, you have to possess some qualities that I think Councilor Gerasi has. I think you need to have vision. I think everybody in this room has benefited from Councilor Gerasi's passion about open space and smart growth, and that thankfully we've learned lessons from some of our surrounding communities that have experienced fast growth, and I would say probably not the best planning. So I'd like to thank him for his vision in that regard. You know, you need to be honest. That goes without saying. You represent the residents of this town, and I had the pleasure of serving with him and never once doubted his honesty. I think you also have to have integrity and a sense of stewardship, because you know that you're not going to be on that board forever. You serve, and then you get off. And when you look back, you just hope that the decisions that you made were in the best interest of the town. Not for a developer, not for any one person, not for any one group, but when you look at the issues that come before you, you never know what's going to pop up. That when you make your decisions on a vote, that you're doing the best thing for the town, and I always knew that Bob would do that. So thanks again for your time serving, and we'll see you around town.
Thank you, Joe. For those who don't know, Mr. Saracini was not only mayor, he was also a town supervisor for town Lysander, and thank you for your various services. He's also on the LWRP, various stakeholder groups right now, assisting with town plans for the village and both towns. Are there any other citizens this evening wishing to speak? Okay, seeing none, we'll go to town board counts. Councilor Rodriguez, we'll start with you.
I too want to thank Mr. Gerasi for all of his service to the town. You know, it's an honor to be on the board with him these past 4 or 6 years, whatever it was. Got to know him personally, liked his vision, as Joe mentioned. Thank you for your service.
Councilor Gerasi.
It's humbling to be in this position up here, and I really did appreciate everything you said, Joe. You know what government work is like, and I thank you as a friend as well, and I thank you, Jeff. It's what's been pleasurable about this role that I've played since 2014 is I've got to work with some really decent people, and you look at what happens in other towns and you go, oh my goodness, I'm glad we're not like that. And truly, it's the faces have changed, and there's always been good. There's really been good at heart up here at this dais. And you can't stay in a position forever. I know that. Everybody knows that. And I'm just hoping that what I hopefully conveyed in the 11 years I've been on this board was what Joe was saying, this idea of a vision for the town that, we don't take for granted, the absolute ambiance and the atmosphere and what we've got here, which is truly blessed and truly unique from what I can see looking at other towns throughout Onondaga County, and in fact other towns not even in Onondaga County, well beyond here. So I just want to thank the citizens, and I want to thank my fellow board members over the years for listening and just having a congenial attitude in anything we discussed. Nobody raised voices, nobody insulted one another. A few audience members might have tried to do that over the years, but we've done a good job, and I again, as I said, I'm not going to make this go on forever, but you can't stay in a position forever, and with that note is a sense of confidence that this town's going to be run okay. I mean, it's going to continue to do the good job that it's been doing, and if I encourage you to do anything, folks, listening, watching PAC-B TV, is just keep paying attention to how this town gets pressure to develop. Can't stop development, of course not, but you can certainly do it in a smart way, to use Joe's term, smart development. So with that, I just thank you very much for this privilege that I've had.
Thank you. Councilor Moore.
Yes, so I too would like to thank you, Bob. It's been an honor serving with you. I've learned a great deal from you. As Joe said, you care a lot about this community, and you've done a lot to protect it. So thank you for your service. You can't be here forever. We all know that, as you said. Sometimes it's hard because you want to continue protecting the community you live in. But I feel fortunate to have spent time up here and having learned from you. I would like to thank everyone for coming, everyone for watching, and I would like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Enjoy the holiday season.
Thank you. I gotta grab something. Forgot to grab it on my way up, so I could read it. So, under supervisor's comments, I would also like to thank Councilor Gerasi. I will get to that part at the end. We'll cover the other housekeeping stuff. Just to let people know, I did have public meeting informational for the West Jenny Sewer Extension District and the West Phoenix District that have some significant increases in their debt services and district payments. I had 5 or 6 people call out of roughly 81 units, and I had one couple show up Monday night from 5:30 to 7:30 to inform them about the increases and the reasoning why. So I was trying to head off at the pass before people got their tax bills, what the options were and what the board decided for, the 2026 budget moving forward. I still have that information on the website. If people are in those districts and you got a letter, the information is there. Still feel free to give me a call. Tomorrow, Town Hall will be closing at 12 p.m. We have a cybersecurity training we're doing in the afternoon, so Town Hall will be closed at 12. I'd also like to note that tax receiving is moving to the town's clerk's office. So it's a little shorter walk to the town clerk's office. Dina has taken that responsibility over. And also a lot of people come in when they pay their taxes, they gotta go to the assessor's office to check their exemptions, which is literally 6 feet away after they leave that window, which is what a lot of people usually do. So we'll have new little tables out there for people that come in and write their taxes, write their checks. We were informed by the county today that I think tax bills may be delayed, but they should be up on the website for the people who like to pay at the end of the year. Town clerk might cover more of that if she got the information. Quickly, this is end of year 2 for me, this town supervisor. This year we settled both union contracts that had ended on 12/31/23. We've also purchased over $1 million in highway equipment between street sweepers and 3 new trucks, large trucks, Class 8 trucks for plowing purposes and for hauling stone and roadwork purposes. We have a grant that we're hoping to obtain to replace our vac truck, which is 20 years old. Senator May's office is working on a grant for us to get a $200,000 of funding toward a roughly $550,000 vehicle. So that'll be, hopefully we get approved for it. We can buy it this, start the purchase process this year, get it next year and get reimbursed for the funding. So it'll probably be part of the 2026 equipment budget. 2026, looking forward, long-term plans. We've got to update our parks long-term plan. We haven't touched it. We all know that we'd like to look at a community center. With the growth of Lysander, we've got to start looking at the peninsula and possibly a park over in that area. Highway 5-year equipment plan. possibly comprehensive plan updates now that Mike Ron is actually getting close to shovel in the ground and the county is starting to move forward with that plan for possible development or growth in our area. And then zoning and codes updates, things that we need to address as we start having outside agencies and international companies start looking in our area. So that's all the exciting stuff moving forward. Now I get to the fun part, or the not so fun. So I'm gonna choke up. I don't know why, but it's sad when people leave. Councilor Drosky and I know a lot of people who watched over the years, and there were a lot of them, where we could go back and forth for days on end about things. But I respect the man, and he never shot me in the woods, and he had plenty of opportunities. So there's that. I walked by his property every day. I would put political signs on the corner of his property for those who don't know. And it was a friendly banter. I'd push deer to him, he'd get deer. Sometimes I wouldn't see any, go, hey, send a couple by, thank you. So that being said, we've got a plaque of recognition. I'm gonna read it for the public. Whereas Robert Gerasi served the residents of the town of Lysander as a town councilor for 12 years. And whereas during his tenure, Robert Gerasi participated in the legislative functions of the town, including attending town board meetings and taking part in deliberations on matters before the board. And whereas the town values the contributions of those who serve in elected office and participate in the governance process. And whereas Robert Gerasi has dedicated his time and his service to not only the town of Lysander, but specifically Lysander Park, Cantonwood Senior Center, Beaver Lake Nature Center, and various other community groups. And whereas service as a town councilor requires a commitment of time and attention to the responsibilities of municipal government, now therefore, the Town of Lysander Town Board hereby recognizes Robert Gerasi for his years of service as town councilor and acknowledges his participation in the legislative affairs of the town. Be it further recognized that the Town of Lysander extends best wishes to Robert Gerasi in his future endeavors. Councilor Gerasi has also said he would stay on to help with the Parks Committee and to assist with the LWRP, which are huge things because I'm not sure if you know this, he used to be the County Parks Commissioner. So he has been very involved in Beaver Lake Nature Center and making it what it is, the Harvest Festival, and many other things that have benefited the town of Lysander in a lot of ways that a lot of people don't realize. I'd like to thank him. Broke down tonight, and he got it. Because I said to him, he goes, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I go, you really gotta be here. So here's your plaque. Thank you. I appreciate all the years of giving you grief and you giving me grief and working with me.
Thank you all.
Okay. On to the next slide. Department head reports. Town attorney.
Nothing at this time.
Okay. Highway superintendent.
Not much to say. This is the last meeting for me and Bob, so we got something in common finally. But this stint in November started right off with a bang. Mariner Trail was in high force, and then we had snow start right off, and it was a busy time. I'm at the point now where I'm more than happy to be turning over the reins to Mr. Magic, Carl. He'll be in the chair soon. Wish him luck. To tell you how much plowing we did, since November 10th, we went out 32 times. John Butler was nice enough to leave me a full barn of salt. And at this point, we have ordered 450 ton. So it was real busy. Ben kept up well, did a good job. There was some people getting tired near the end of it, but they did a good job. So I commend them all. I want to thank Dina in the clerk's office. She's helped me out on a few things. The town board, of course, Kevin, And I haven't had to use a lawyer, thank God, yet, so. It was getting close, I think.
There's
So
still time.
anyways, I appreciate you appointing me, and again, I'm looking forward to my third retirement. So, thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Dan. Town engineer?
Nothing this evening.
Okay. I'll go to the town clerk next.
Yep.
Town clerk.
Yes, so I just want to say a couple of things, Bob Gerasi. So listening to what everybody has to say, and I think what's really important in positions like ours is that we want to leave a positive legacy, right? And looking back at the minutes and everything you've said and everything I've written, and I think, in 20, 30, 40, 50 years, because I've read minutes from, 100 years ago, that your name is in those minutes forever. And you've said some really profound things, and you've been an integral part of the government here. And so I hope you know that you leave a legacy that was good, and it was a pleasure working with you.
Thank you very much.
And back to business. So the tax warrant is supposed to come out the 29th of December. It's supposed to. It probably will, which means that we can receive taxes. So when you come to our window and you write a check, we can take them. Cannot take them before the warrant. So they should be online on the 29th. They may not be. Come in anyways. I'll see if I can find them for you if the public can't find them online. If you want to pay them before the new year, that's your option, is December 29th. Otherwise, January 2nd, taking taxes as normal. If you have any questions, call my office. We're happy to help. It's me and Missy McConaughey. She also worked for the assessor's office, so it's kind of a two-in-one deal if you have questions while you're at the window. There'll be postings on the website when the warrant comes out. We are going to be asking for exact change, meaning if your tax bill is $100.58, please bring 58 cents. I know that might be an issue, but we'll work it out. We will work with you, so don't worry. We're here to help. The hours are going to be 9 to 4:30. We're going to take taxes 9 to 4:30. We will not ever be closed for lunch. There will always be somebody there. We have a drop box if you want to drop off your taxes. And the drop box out front over the weekend. We do look at the postmark. If it's getting towards the end of January, got to make sure January 31st is the last day without penalty.
Just that we're closed, and housekeeping notes, I forgot, we are closed the whole day on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve.
Right, yeah.
So they can use the
You
drop
can use the drop
box.
box, and we'll use your stamp, and we'll look at when you did drop those off.
And if it's postmarked by
Yeah.
12/31, it would be,
The day that you pay the taxes. Because some people do like to pay their taxes before the first of the year, so.
yeah. And usually what we've said in the past,
Yeah.
if you put your check in the drop box, just make sure you put your name, address, and phone number. That way, if there's any issues, they can call and contact you for if there's a discrepancy.
And just make sure that when you're writing out your check, that it is exactly written out as the taxes are due, because the bank will return that check. Make sure the checks are signed. And if possible, write your tax map number on the check as well. Anything else?
No?
We're here to help. Just give us a call if you have a question.
Thank you. Now on to the exciting stuff. The assessor, Teresa Goldman, has a report.
Good evening. Our senior exemption renewals for 2026 are being accepted and processed as time permits. The first run was when the school bells went out. It's kind of quiet now. We still have, the office has 175 senior citizen exemption renewals that have not yet been received. And we've already sent one postcard as a reminder because we had so many that hadn't come in. And we are going to be sending a second reminder postcard in January because March 1st is the deadline. Our renewal applications for all the other exemptions, which include agricultural, nonprofit, firefighters, and clergy, have been sent. And just like the seniors, the deadline for all exemptions is March 1st of 2026. I attended the New York State Assessors Association conference the week of October 6th. Because I attended all the classes available, I was awarded 12 continuing education credits. The attendance set a post-COVID record with nearly 250 people in person, which is about 50 people more than what is average for us. So it was, some of our functions were a little crowded, but we managed to get through. Courses attended included Association of Towns Beyond the Role, a deep dive into the role of the assessor, inventory and cost valuation of communication towers, legal and valuation challenges in property tax assessment, administration of agricultural land assessments, sales chasing, and the always popular New York State Office of Real Property Tax Services office updates, including star updates. Couple of housekeeping notes. Lysander office update, the assessment clerk, Missy McConaughey, as Dina stated, has departed to the position of deputy town clerk / receiver of taxes. An information aide has been hired full-time as a new entry-level addition to the assessor's office, and I believe she starts next week. Van Buren office update, the new assessment clerk has taken and passed the assessment clerk civil service exam. Her position has been approved by the county, and she is no longer considered a provisional appointment. And attached to your report is my latest continuing education status report. Continuing education requirements met through September 30th of 2026, and my ethics recertification satisfied for the current term of office. So I'm in good standing with the state. And also attached is a late bloomer from the governor's office, and she's has signed a new legislation, and we're starting to get phone calls about this, so I wanted you to be aware. A lot of the calls have thought that this is a new exemption. It is not a new exemption. It is a change by local option, which means every county, every town, every school district has the local option to opt the changes or not. And what it is it currently, the senior citizen limited income exemption has a maximum, no matter what your income is. If you're below that threshold for 50%, everybody gets, that's the maximum that you can get, is a 50% discount off of your property taxes or your school taxes, depending on, or your county taxes by local option. This changes that ceiling of 50%, which has been in place since this exemption was instituted decades ago. But what has changed is the income limit, which is what we changed 2 years ago. We upped the income limit, but the maximum that you can get is 50%. So the major change to this is that you have the option to grant an additional 15% to make it that 50-65. So it's not like they're going to get 50 plus 65. That's what people are thinking. That's not the case. It's a local option, and because it was just signed, it takes effect immediately, but realistically, because it's a local option, you have to opt into it, and the deadline for exemptions is March 1st, so there's a time crunch there. So realistically, there's probably not going to be, our system right now can't even implement it into the program because the state has to do a new computer patch for that. So realistically, there's probably not going to be anything for the 2026 assessment roll, and I'll keep you posted going forward if the county looks at it, or other towns or school districts look at it and what the outcomes are, and answer any questions that you have. But just so you're aware, so if you get a property owner that contacts you, you know what is actually going on. And that's all I have, unless you have questions.
Teresa, I have two. Just for the benefit of the folks who may be turning 65 for the first time. Do you know what the dollar level income is offhand? What the
For the senior citizen?
Yeah.
Yes, it's $58,400.
Okay.
And that includes your IRA distribution that appears on your tax return. And it also includes your total Social Security, not your taxable Social Security. So just because your total income may be below 58.4, you have to count the total Social Security, not what's already included,
So
okay?
everything, all of it,
Yeah. Yep.
including Social Security. And even though I won't be on the board, you're saying this board has an opportunity to pass a local law
Yes,
to increase that?
to increase that, the maximum exemption from 50, which it currently is, to 65, and then you set that income threshold for that, because it's a sliding scale. The lower your income, the greater the percentage of your exemption.
Thank you, Teresa.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Anyone else? Thank you again. Okay, next up on the agenda is the agenda items. Motion A, can I get a motion to adopt the local law amending chapter 295 entitled Vehicles and Traffic Law relative to the installation of 2 traffic stop signs on Tall Tree Lane at the intersection of Forest Ridge for traffic traveling east and west on Tall Tree Lane, and 2 traffic stop signs on Tall Tree Lane at Sedgegrass Road at the westernmost intersections for traffic traveling east and west. This motion shall authorize the town clerk to advertise for the same.
I'd like to move that.
I'll second it.
We need to make an edit.
Oh,
Because we should, yeah, we don't need to advertise for this.
oh, that's, I wasn't sure if once we put it in, if we had to.
You don't have to.
Okay, apologize. We'll strike the last sentence out of that. Counselor Drossy and Maureen, you still good with your first and second? Okay. Discussion. Like I said, they had brought this to our attention in September. We finally got it through the motions to get it in the paper and have the public hearing tonight. So once we get this approved from the state, I believe the DOT sends us a letter letting us know we can install them, and the highway superintendent will get the letter and get the stop signs ordered and get them in when weather allows. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All yes, motion carried. Motion B, I'd like to get a motion to hold a second public hearing on Thursday, January 15th at 6:30 PM in the auditorium at the town of Lysander, 8220 Loop Road, Baldwinsville, New York, regarding the formation of the Cold Spring Sewer District Number 1 in compliance with New York State Comptroller requirements per Article 12A of Town Law.
I'll move it. I'll second it.
Discussion.
A little edit on that as well.
Okay,
January 15th, 2026. At
2026.
the end, the motion shall authorize the town clerk to advertise for sale.
That's a good. Okay, are we good with our initials and seconds? Okay. Discussion. When we were going over, after the last public hearing and we approved it, with the state comptroller's office and going over the threshold, we were dotting our i's and crossing our t's and realized that we had not had the legal boundary, even though we had the map and the tax numbers. There was a couple items that weren't included in the public notice. So the comptroller's office would call us out on that in April, so we decided we will rehold the public hearing and follow the process correctly. And, we'll go through it again and get it right, so when the comptroller's office looks at it, we don't have the issue. That is the reason for reholding. Mr. Herkla, I do have a question. I know we sent letters out to all the interested parties back at the first public hearing. Do we need to do the same for this one because of the public interest? Okay, and we'll send the 158 letters again. So, excellent.
Kevin can stuff them this time.
Right. It's January, I'm slow. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All yes, motion carried. Motion C, like to approve a policy of the receiver of taxes requiring that all in-person tax payments made in cash be submitted in exact change due to the limited availability of coinage. This policy shall apply only to cash transactions and shall not affect payments by check.
I'll move that.
I'll second it.
Discussion. The reason we are putting this policy in is we have to accept cash payments per New York State law. The second reason is everybody knows with pennies, once they stop printing them, the banks are getting short in short supply and they're limiting who is putting them out. So while we have to collect cash, we can require that we get exact change. So that is, we were recommended by the State Tax Receivers Association to have the motion approved by the town board to alleviate any issues. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All yes, motion carried. Motion D, I'd like to get a motion to accept the audit report of the town court records for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2024, as presented by the town comptroller.
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
The discussion. The report is available on the website, or if anybody wants to come and look at it, it's about 10 pages long. The comptroller went through it. There was no issues or significant findings of discrepancies within both courts. So the comptroller has approved that, and he'll probably start on the 2025 ones probably sometime in January or February, now that we've finally caught up on 23 and 24. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All yes, motion carried. Motion E, I'd like to get a motion to appoint Therese Pierce to the position of part-time court clerk as per the union contract.
I'll move that.
I'll second it.
Discussion. The previous part-time court clerk in that job has now taken the information aide position over in the assessor's office. So Therese Pierce helped with tax receiving, and she also helped with comptroller duties a few years ago. We welcome her back to the staff. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All yes, motion carried. Motion F, I'd like to get a motion to increase the fund balance assigned appropriated account AO-00914-000 in the amount of $189,371.06. This will come from unassigned fund balance AO-00917-000 to cover the expenditure for the reimbursement grant for the Parks project of the Ninja course. Revenue will offset the expense and go back into the fund balance. It says at year end, but probably in 2026.
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Discussion. This move had to be made. We received a $200,000 CREST grant last year from, at the time, Senator Mannion's office that was for the Ninja course purchase. We submitted our documentation, but we will not receive the funds probably in this fiscal year. So this is a move to recoup what the budget lines are off and the further budget modifications to address that issue. This is the 189 is what we spent on the actual Ninja course. It's not the actual installation of it. So that is why those parks accounts were negative. So we're moving the money out of the fund balance. When we get reimbursed from the grant, the money will go back into the fund balance. And the grant is worth $200,000. We will also have additional work to put the concrete and the pillars in to hold the Ninja course over at the park, which is slated for early spring. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All yes, motion carried. Motion G, I'd like to get a motion to approve the transfer of the B fund balance assigned appropriated BO-00914-000 in the amount of $36,853.89. This will be transferred from BO-00917-000, which is the unassigned B fund balance. It will be used to cover expenditures for unexpected litigation.
I'll move that.
I'll second it.
Discussion. In the further budget lines, which are all available online. This is for unexpected litigation that we faced through planning, zoning, codes department, which is all funded by the B fund, so the B fund has to pay for that. We are also looking to, through the insurance company, looking to recoup a certain dollar value that the insurance company insures us for litigation. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All yes, motion carried. Motion H, I'd like to get a motion to approve the 2025 budget modifications as presented.
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Discussion. They are available on the website. Some of them are 2 to 3 pages. There's A fund, there's 2 sets of the A fund with all the different accounts, B fund and the DB fund, which is the highway. Various things at the end of the year, you can't allow an account to go negative. So after we ran our last voucher run 2 weeks ago, we identified all the accounts to give them a positive balance to get through the rest of the 2025 calendar year. I know in years past, sometimes you'll see we will have more budget modifications to move money in the respective accounts. Sometime in March when Colin gets done, the comptroller gets done and starts working on the AFR, and we have until February to receive previous year bills to put into the previous calendar year. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All yes, motion carried. Having nothing else on the agenda, can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting at 7:10 PM?
I'll move it.
I'll second it. I didn't know Bob wanted.
I know. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. I guess have a happy holiday season, folks. We will have a special meeting on January 5th at 5:30 PM for the 2026 organizational meeting. Take care, be safe.